in the first version, and we're gonna invite the first users into a beta version. And right now we're also still figuring out if it's going to be a private beta or public beta version, how many people we're going to let in. The goal here is, as I keep mentioning here every week, to get to build a product that 100 people love, 100 people like you. So we need you to check out our app, give us feedback, and learn something new, learn a new skill. And the end goal here is to empower at least 1 million people to learn a new skill. Kevin, are you ready to dig into the first topic of today?
Sure, as always.
As always. So the first topic, actually we have 3 topics. We have prioritizing our features for the launch. As you all know or may not know, if you're watching for the first time, we are building everything with no-code tools like Adalo that we are using to build an app without actually writing code. Let's see how far we can take this. And that's why I'm also gonna give it over to Kevin to talk about features. And we need to prioritize and see what features we can actually squeeze out of our tight plan to actually make happen until next week. Before I let Kevin take over, we're also going to discuss the launch plan, what else we're going to do, and give you some insights into Figma, Notion, and Adalo. For those of you who don't know, Figma is a design and prototyping tool that Kevin will dig deeper into in a second. Notion is basically the best. It's basically a Google Docs on steroids. It's the best tool to manage your notes and to actually manage your startup life, as I would say. And then Adalo is a no-code tool that lets you build and launch apps on iOS and Android without writing code. Kevin, give us a bit of an overview of what we are doing, and perhaps mention in a sentence or two a bit of a status where we're at.
Yeah, like last week, I can just show you for a second the state we are on right now. And basically, it's all set up so far, and Adalo has some kind of constraints.
Yeah, like
So
last week,
we will still have audio problems.
No more audio problems. That was my bad.
Okay. So one thing I changed for now was that we now ask users in a separate step in the onboarding about some skills they want to learn. And we are also going to split up between a public version. So all videos that are uploaded to the app can be visited or viewed like in Instagram. And sorry, there's a bit of a performance issue in Adalo right now, as it looks like.
Oh, good. I think we can see.
Okay, but I can't see it. So there will be 2 streams. So one stream will be the public kind of stream where you can see posts like on Instagram, and the second one will be specific to the learning path you chose before while signing up. And everything is basically set up except for the mailings, so that we can't users update right now about the profile changes or following stuff like that. But it will be done soon, and I hope it just works out nice. So that's it from the feature side so far. And yeah, anything else I forgot to mention?
I think that all sounds good. We are gonna focus on creators in the first version, because we believe that if we have 100, 1,000 creators being people who contribute learning content that other people can then join and learn, will help us get to a lot of users quick. So we really want to focus on creators. If you are a creator, if you have something to say that actually empowers people to learn something new, I'm always trying to avoid the word teach and education, because I believe learning should be about empowering and about giving people the tools that they need to learn new skills. Yep, so we are going to focus on those creators. I think that's an important thing to add. Kevin, what about Figma and the status of the design? Where we at? What we still building? Can you give us a bit of a rundown? What's happening? What we've built already? How far we are? Just show and tell.
Sure. As you saw, Adalo has some basic elements which we try to reuse here and there, but we also already are working on the next version of the app, which I don't know yet how we will realize that or how we will develop it. But basically, the big benefit of Figma and tools like Sketch and Figma is that you can really prototype super fast. So it's really important for us to iterate on different features or user flows or possible versions we can launch as soon as possible. And for today, I would say I will show you how we will set up a screen and build components. And the component could be something like a thing that you reuse every now and then. So for example, in, let's say, Instagram, again, a post could be a component which contains an image, which contains a name, a description of the post, and hashtags, for example. So this stuff you would reuse again and again throughout the app, and sometimes it's a little bit modified, and so you don't have to redo it again and again. And especially if a team gets bigger, it's better to have reusable components. And that's a good thing because since 2 or 3 years, there is a movement going on with design systems, which let developers and designers kind of work on the same thing. So basically, it's, for example, if you think of a date picker, is always a big problem between teams because one team created a date picker and the other team created another one. So there are now two date pickers and everything is kind of confusing and not working anymore. And because of that, sorry.
For those of you who are not into code and not into programming and have no idea what Karen is talking about, maybe we talk briefly about just the overall functionality of the screens that we can see right now in Figma. That would be great, and then we dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah. Any questions so far?
I have no questions. We have people watching. I think let's talk about the main functionality. So what are the 3 key components? What can the app actually do, and what can it not do maybe later? So let's start with what it can do already. What is that circle with that plus sign? What is happening there? Why do we have to buy courses? What is that For You page? Just give us a bit of an overview there, please.
Okay. So like I mentioned before, the Discover feed is basically everything you can see in the app already. So creators can set some lessons, as you can see over here, for public in this case, so that they will discover or will be discoverable here in the feed. There will be an upload function feature, depending on how you want to call it, later on. So like Instagram or TikTok are provided right now, but we in the beginning will focus on the onboarded approach. So this won't be visible for everyone in the beginning. And as you can see,
sorry, can I interrupt you for a second? Why
Sure.
will it not be visible for everyone? What's the idea behind that?
First of all, we want to onboard creators in the beginning because we want to have a lot of content, hopefully, for everyone. And also because of a limitation of Adalo, to be honest. Because we have to gradually grow the database and also the infrastructure.
Limitations. It would
As
be too
always.
easy if everything would work in no code. So
Yeah, and also
that
in
easily, but I
startups.
think in startups.
Yeah.
True. Okay, so the plus is to
Sorry.
upload content or to somehow
Yeah.
get content to us, to somehow send it to us.
Mhm.
Cool. And then I can see here a learn button and a profile button. What's happening there?
The learn button we will see later on, just in a minute, but maybe we will just get into detail with the view full course thing over here. Or
Yeah.
as you can see, Pete is already in Figma. That's also another awesome thing.
Oh, I
That
love it. I love actually that Figma is so great because we can actually collectively work on this, and we can always see it like magic, and it's always fast. So it's much better than screen share. So Figma is really an awesome tool.
and if
That's
I
not an
click,
ad, by the way. We don't get paid by anyone.
yeah,
So if you want
no.
to send us money, I'll give you my PayPal later.
Just wait. If I click on your avatar in the upper right corner, I will follow your cursor. So if you move around, I will see what you're doing. That's
No.
also a nice thing. I can observe you. But
spy software right in there. Internal spy.
yeah, it's a little bit intriguing somehow, sometimes. But like I mentioned before, creators will be able to make some lessons of their courses public, which will be discoverable in the feed. And if you see a lesson that is set to public, it will have a call to action which leads to the full course. So you can always see the whole thing, but you can also discover everything if you want on your own.
Like what?
Videos.
So you get that you discover learning videos right now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all you can discover.
So if you are an
Cool.
eager beaver, you can discover everything on your own, or you can just use the specific course page where you can buy the whole course. And I'm not sure if we are still on it, but we mentioned something back then that it would also be possible maybe to buy some lessons instead of the whole course. Is that still up and running?
You know
or?
what? I love the idea of almost like an app store for courses in that sense, so that you basically just spend $1 and get a course, right? So basically a lesson for $1, that would be like amazing. So you can just buy that 90-second lesson and you actually learn something, and all you do is spend $1 and you get it straight away. So that's why we think that it might be a great idea, but obviously, as with everything in product, we are building it, we are testing it, we're going to let the users decide if it's a good thing or not. So that's why I think it is definitely still in the launch plan. Let's see if it's going to work. Let's see how great if it's going to be, if you guys like it, if you want to buy individual courses, or if it's much better that you buy individual lessons, or if you rather buy the whole course. We'll see. We'll figure that out.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Cool.
So
we let you decide.
Just have to think one thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we will already start with a component, and that's just a really helpful thing I will show you, because, for example, if we say, I hope this works now because streaming takes a lot of performance.
Streaming is art.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's not that easy. We learned it the hard way and still do.
Yeah, and we love it, right?
Yep, sounds good.
Nice.
So just to show you the power of components, I will rename that one to something that I will remember later on, which could be playlist item large, for example. And I will create a component out of that. And I will show you the power of it in a second. So I will just replace that one with a component. And yeah, aligning doesn't matter right now.
Okay.
And if I decide, let's say that I want an avatar, for example, of a user that created that playlist or course, I can just add it over here. So this could be the profile picture or something. And we can also say,
It would be a nice profile picture, by the way.
because it's you.
Oh, is it? I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's you. It's your
nice light
video.
As well. The purple, beautiful.
Always on brand.
Nice.
And if I would say in this case that this is a pro course, I can fill it with our grow color and align it correctly. It will update on the left, as you can see. So that's a nice thing, because if you compare it to the other ones, they won't get updated because they are not the component yet. So I would have to do that manually. And it was like that back then in Photoshop times, and also before Sketch supported, I guess it's called symbols in Sketch. And it's just super powerful throughout design project, when you can reuse everything and say, okay, we have a playlist item, or if you think of Spotify, this could be the cover of podcasts, for example, or could be the cover of an album or a single song. And it's just powerful to say, okay, we have one thing, developers know what to do and what to place in there. And maybe I'll also show how fast it is to have a new page. In this case, it would be a single playlist or resources page, because we were talking about that last week on Thursday, if you can remember.
Yeah, we might use those playlists to actually curate course content. Think about this, right? So there is a creator that creates a course, let's say how to grow a startup, right? So you have 20 short videos on how to grow a startup. First video is how to find a co-founder. Second video is how to start a business. Third video is how to talk to users, etc., etc., right? So you have all those videos combined to a 20 video long course, and you can buy that course, or you can buy individual lessons of that course. Now, the third and really interesting part that we are thinking of is about you as a curator. Like, if you think you can create a great course based on existing course material, because you know that there is an amazing course by Paul Graham, or like an amazing lesson by Paul Graham, and you mix it with a lesson by Gary Vaynerchuk, and then you add a short course by Kevin who can teach you no code, and you put all of those together and how to start a no code startup, you can basically create this as a playlist that is your own course. So that's kind of like what we're thinking behind. I think that's genius. Or shit, we will see.
I will just try one thing, and I have to move your picture a little bit.
No.
Yeah, but it's easy. Everything is fine. But it blocks my interface right now, which is not good.
Nice.
So one idea. It's also cool that you have plugins in Figma, which in here I can paste some random motivational picture, or let's take something with any idea, plants in it.
Okay, so if that would be my course, it would be about how to start some food business. So I would put like donuts and make a vegan donut business?
Let's see if we can find it. Because donuts are awesome. Yes.
Do a donut? That is the question.
There is no try. Is it?
There is no try.
Pasted pastry yet already. Ha ha ha.
Awesome. They look delicious. I bet they're not vegan, unfortunately. But yeah, okay. So that's Pete's. Is that going to be Pete's donut business? Pete's vegan donut business.
Yep.
Cool.
And one thing, because it's just a design minor idea of mine right now, would be because we will have a text over here, and that's just some UI and UX related topic. We need some gradient. I mean, it just looks not good right now, but maybe we can also put a solid color over
and
it.
then make the text readable, right?
Yeah, because if it's a white picture and we have a white text, it won't be readable.
Yeah.
Good point. Maybe increase the... Yeah, I would do it with a gradient in the end so that it just fades nice with the rest of the content. But for now, we can add get started. And we have to align it to the left with, what did you say, food blogging?
No, it's gonna be how to start a vegan donut startup. And I think the idea is actually it can be that niche, but it can also just basically be my lessons on starting a food company. And we basically put anything in there from how to come up with a brand name, how to start the actual startup lessons, and then there could be things like how does delivery systems work, how to partner with Uber Eats and stuff. Could be lessons like that kind. And how to find vegans in marketing. That's another thing, like how to find that niche.
Yeah. I will just cheat and show you the screen as it will look like in the end.
No, you're a magician. You should have
Yes.
made this a little more exciting. Like, give me some, give me some seconds and close your eyes and boom.
Pull it out of my head like a rabbit.
Okay, I can see.
So
now.
that's what
the hard thing about hard donut things.
Yeah. By Ben. I can't think of a pun now.
Yeah.
So, is that it for now? Do we have any other ideas?
Okay, let's explain. Let's go through that screen quickly. Okay, manage uncertainty. What is that? Summary, learn more, top takeaways. Okay, what is the manage uncertainty? Where's that come from? How does that relate to donuts? It doesn't, I guess, but like what? Can you just explain the topic deep dive playlist detail to everyone?
Yeah, I think you mentioned it before while I was designing, that we allow people at some point to curate content and say, okay, this could be a topic about managing uncertainty with internal communications in time of uncertainty, for example. And it will just give you a quick summary of everything that's contained in the topic. And on Learn More, you can see everything that's related to that topic. So, because we were thinking of something a month ago that it could be, for example, it could be podcast episodes, it could be videos, it could be books, it could be Medium posts or on Quora, stuff like that. So that's basically everything that can be in a topic.
So basically, learn anything in 90 seconds or less is the general idea.
Yeah.
And we were only talking about videos until now. So to basically close that gap, we were, as Kevin was saying, thinking of adding more formats. It can be podcast, it can be books, it can be anything that you can watch, listen, read, wherever it is on the internet, in a shorter format for you to easily digest and learn something in less time than watching a 20-hour Udemy course.
And again, like before, it could also be that some lessons are relevant for the topic, so they can also be picked for that topic. So that's where the Lego parts fit together in the end.
The
Hopefully.
donut parts, you mean?
The donut parts, yeah.
The Lego donuts. Okay. So back to the donut example, how would that look like? It would basically be a book about how to bake donuts, right? And then
Yeah.
it would be the title would be starting a podcast or starting a donut business. Then what do you need to start a donut business? And those are the lessons. Could be books to read, could be videos to watch. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Now I want to start a donut business.
Me too.
Nice.
It's still the right time to pivot.
Yeah, we need a bit of a bigger audience to pre-sell donuts here.
Yeah.
But, besides that, I'm all for it.
So anything else?
Cool. I don't think so. Where does that leave us? We need so that's basically that playlist feature. Where does that leave us in terms of launch? We are gonna let the first users in next week. Please email us to join@grow.do, or me or Kevin, Pete@grow.do, or Kevin@grow.do if you want to be on that list. We are going to make an announcement next week where more people can get early access to our app for iOS. Kevin, we are going to launch iOS first, right?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because we can control it, and I'm not sure if it's possible to launch both at the same time with Adalo, because the paradigms of the OS is different. So
okay,
iOS first.
It also makes sense, right? So there's only I would have said I used to love iOS, and I used to say that there's only one device or like 2 or 3 screen sizes. Now we have 17 devices on iOS, but there's still a million Android devices. So I think it's just the smarter and more efficient way to launch on iOS first. Once it works for 1,000 users on iOS or 100 users really perfectly smoothly, then we launch Android. There's way more devices, way more screen sizes, way more problems that occur with Android. And so we're rolling out that a little later. So if you are an Android user, oh my God, Freudian slip. Yep. If you are an Android user, you are gonna lose out on this opportunity to be an early access user. So please be patient with us or email us, and we'll make a plan. We'll give you access as soon as we can.
Sorry.
Oh my. All right, and then what about Notion and Adalo? You mentioned Notion and Adalo. I know we're building with Adalo. How does the launch work on Adalo? Maybe we can talk about that. We set up an Apple developers account. We can launch it now, the app now. We have an Adalo Pro account, so we can submit to App Store. It costs $50 a month, right? The basic Pro version, for what I remember. So I think that's worth it. What else?
One thing we still have to set up after submitting the app. I'm not sure because it's the first time for me submitting an app to the App Store, but submitting the app first so that we get reviewed, and then we can let people on the app via test flight, if I read or remembered that correctly.
Cool. So we're going to probably build a sign-up landing page for early next week that we're going to share with you guys, so people can sign up and get early access. We're going to probably make some announcement on how many people we'll let in, because we want to actually keep the conversation very closely with every single one of you who is an early user, and not let hundreds of thousands of people in right away. That would just break our systems, and we just really want to take the time to have the conversations with you guys. And bring you on one by one, step by step. Also figure out the right topics. So if you know any great creator who can submit learning content to our platform and would be valuable for us, please refer them. It would be amazing. It would mean a lot to us.
Definitely.
Cool. That was the most fun stream we've done so far, by far. Kevin, I want to show you something real quick. I have something here that unfortunately you cannot have because
Ooh,
because I'm in Africa and you are in Europe.
ooh.
Ooh, I blocked my microphone. I've got a Lint advent calendar. It's amazing. I'm still like as excited as I was when I was a little kid to eat the little tiny bits of chocolate every day. So that's why December is amazing. If you are in lockdown right now, push through and you'll make it. 2020 was hard one. And it would be amazing if you would become one of our early users. And I have another quick thing to show you and a shout out to Ryder Carroll. That book
Yeah.
is one of the best books I read. It's called The Bullet Journal, actually the Bullet Journal Method. Now, why is this book so great? Because it explains to you in simple steps how to start with bullet journaling. So it's basically a quick way of journaling in an actual notebook. I prefer that over any computer. I use Notion and I love Notion for managing tasks and stuff. But as an overall kind of like calendar and managing my life, the bullet journal is amazing. You can just use any notebook, look it up. It's great. We don't get paid for that. I'm just seriously recommending an amazing product as well, like that book and the chocolate. So get chocolate and check the book. The bullet journal method. Would be great to get Ryder Carroll as one of our creators one day to use Grow. That would be awesome. So if you know him, make a shout out and get us in touch.
That would be super awesome because I don't know if you saw it, but I just showed my bullet journal, which I started back then in
No, I
2018.
didn't. I didn't. Oh, nice, 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 nice.
As you can see
I
over
didn't
here.
know that you were one of those bullet journal guys.
Yeah, I even have the original one, so it's really not an ad, but it's the Leuchtturm 1917 thing, uh,
Nice.
which got upgraded last week. But like I said, it's not an ad. It's
What do you
just
mean by
awesome.
upgraded?
Uh, yeah, that one is just the basic thing that has markers and shows you the different
Ah.
symbols, but the new one has a guide, and I don't know yet, but it just got a little bit better.
It's so funny because I'm still a Moleskine user and I love them because they have the special editions and I'm currently writing in my Zelda special edition and I have those tiny little stickers in there and I use them for important things that I really want to remember or some like special things like reflection and stuff. And I'm such a Moleskine fan because they do those limited editions like with Nintendo or I had that Super Mario one as well or with Harry Potter. Big fan of that.
Yeah,
Why
sounds
is it so?
good.
We have five more minutes. Why is that so great? Oh, we have a few more minutes. Why is it so great for you to use the bullet journal?
Yeah, like you said, it's just analog to compared to anything is that is on a screen. I just love it to write on pen and paper,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's different. What would you
All
say?
right. You know what? For me, okay, I wake up in the morning. I used to use the 5 minute journal. That's
Hmm.
something that also Tim Ferriss recommends a lot. So you basically start your day by three things that you are writing down, three things that you are grateful for, then three things that would make today great, like going for a run, and then a daily affirmation.
Hmm.
Which is something that primes you and puts you in the right mood and right mindset for the day. After doing that, in the evening, you open it again and you write three amazing things that happened today. And then you answer a question, ask yourself a question, how could you have made today even better?
Hmm.
Also very positive. You can say something like, okay, I focus more and watch less TV, whatever, like something that means something to you and word it in a positive way, like how you could make it even better. And this 5 minute journal is a great book that has all those questions written in there. But I actually found myself using the bullet journal more, so I'm switching, but I still
Hmm.
use all those elements from the 5 minute journal, and I use it in my bullet journal. So I use a normal Moleskine notebook, write those things every morning, including a bit of a reflection. I write some stats that my Aura Ring gives me down as well. Aura Ring is tracking my sleep and my steps and my overall fitness. And yeah, I feel like I'm in control and I have a good start into the day
Yeah.
and a good end to every day.
And regarding the 5 minute journal, I use day one for that because it also enables me to prompt myself. So
Okay.
the day one asks me for the, like you said, what I ate today. If my life is, let's say, an 8 right now, how would it be a 10? So what would make it better? And compared to that, the bullet journal, so the analog way, is just, yeah, like I mentioned before, it's something different. And
What's an 8? Sorry, what is the day one thing?
yeah, day one basically is a journaling tool and the prompt itself. So the thing you said before with the 5-minute journal is just a question in there. And I just have to think about it. They ask you what your life is on a scale of 1 to 10 right now. And if you
Okay.
would say, okay, it's an 8 today or a 7, the next question would be how it would be a 10. So what would be different when it should be a 10? So that you know what you have to improve.
That's amazing. I can tell you that straight away that my life would be a 10 once the app is launched. So Gavin, make that work. Let's work on this. Let's get back to work. Thanks everyone so much for watching. Kevin, do you have any final words for our audience?
Stay awesome.
Stay awesome. He's always on point. Thank you again for watching. This was the 4th time that we've built it. We are just sharing this live with you, the way we're progressing and what we're learning along the way. I hope you're enjoying it, and see you guys next week in the 5th episode of our growth journey.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so old streams. Yes, you can watch the old